Hello, fellow Bengal fans. It's Forever Bengals. Some roster changes this week. Looks like the Bengals has decided to release Maurice Purify, and we're going to try to get him back on the practice squad. And we've, we signed Sean Smith, defensive tackle again. We had signed him but released him before the Minnesota game. Now we've re-signed him, I guess, to take over Domata Pecco's responsibilities while Domata is recovering. Um, and then as far as wide receivers go, a lot of people are looking at this as Jerome Simpson's chance to get on the field. And I did when I did my Purify versus Simpson video. One of the things I mentioned was Purify being a big, strong, powerful wide receiver and everything. Um, and now I'm confused about his size because I know that some places have him listed as 6 foot, 6'4", and other places have him listed as 6'1". So if he's only 6'1", he's not as big as I thought. But I don't really know how tall the guy is or whatever. But he was supposed to be one of those big possession type wide receivers that can make those tough catches and get the yards after catch. But evidently he wasn't able to get any separation. And with Jerome Simpson, one of the things that he has is speed. He's supposed to have a lot of speed, and he has big hands. So I think we may use him to open up the field a little bit more, have him run straight down the field to go deep, and if they leave him one-on-one, and he can jump for the balls, he can out-jump people. If they leave him one-on-one, I can see him trying to, throwing the ball up for grabs and seeing if he'll come down with it. I think he might. I think he's going to be more impressive when he gets on the field than a lot of people think. I'm not a big fan of any one attribute to single out a player. I think players have their own little attributes, and Jerome Simpson, one of his attributes is when he's ready, with his speed, he'll be able to break people's ankles and everything, running crisp routes, and he'll get open that way. And he'll also be able to take off downfield, and people won't be able to catch him. And that's one of the reasons why, when he was brought on board, what I was looking at, I saw him as that. And then when they activated Purify over him, I thought, well, maybe Purify being a bigger wide receiver. Chris Henry was 6'3", and if they said that he was 6'4", figured big tall wide receiver. That would be a good go-to guy. And if he's also one of those out-muscling type wide receivers, that'd be even better. But he didn't. He didn't really impress in the offense, and as far as special teams, yeah, he was very impressive on special teams, and especially containing Josh Cribbs. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens come this Sunday. Who's going to be activated? Who's not going to be activated? I'd like to see Jerome Simpson out there. I'd like to see him taking off, go deep, and because he's a rookie, I can just see a lot of people allowing him to go one-on-one. If that's the only play that you have him doing, if nothing else, defenses are going to have to plan for that. They're going to have to start going deep with him, and that'll pull one more guy off of Chad or off of your other wide receivers and give them the opportunity to get open. And I think that's one of the things that's been killing us is we keep doing these little dump-off passes to the running back and tight ends because none of our wide receivers are getting open. And the only wide receiver that seems to be getting open is Chad, and he can't do it all by himself. So I'd like to see, like I say, they're not using him and Chad deep anymore. So let's try to use some. Let's try to come up with a scheme to get us some points on the board. Uh, and with all these changes that we've made, we'll see how it's going to affect us. I don't think it's going to hurt us as far as going to the playoffs go. I mean, even if we lose this game and we don't get the second seed, big freaking deal. Being a Bengals fan and knowing how hard it is in our division, knowing how hard it is to compete in this division, in which most other teams and players have no idea what it's like. Um, I like the fact that we are going to the playoffs this year. It's we have Kansas City, so even if we drop this game, we beat Kansas City, we win against Kansas City, and we go to the playoffs. If Baltimore comes up flat in any of their games for the rest of the year, and they have the Steelers again, they have to play the Steelers again. They lose that game to the Steelers, then there it is. We have the fourth seed in the playoff. They win against the Steelers, then we still have to play the Chiefs, and I think we'll win that way either way. So as far as playoffs and roster changes, I think that's about it. As a lot of you know, Chris Henry had died earlier today. He died in a horrific truck accident. Like, he fell out of the back of his truck, and it's a shame because I was a big fan of Chris Henry. I was a huge fan of his. And I'm actually going to do a video about that after this one, so stay tuned. I'm Forever Bengals, and I'm out.